In the fall of 2003, just off the coast of Western Australia, a 9-foot great white shark vanished. Not tagged and lost, not injured and recovered. Gone. And when scientists recovered the tag, they discovered something terrifying. It hadn't malfunctioned. It had been swallowed. This story didn't start with horror. It started with science. A team from Australia's Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organisation, CSIRO, was running a routine tracking operation. Their mission? Monitor the migratory patterns of great white sharks off the southern coast. In late 2003, they successfully tagged a healthy female, young but powerful, 9 feet long, a perfect candidate. The satellite tag was state-of-the-art, measuring depth, movement, water temperature, and behavior for several months. It was programmed to detach and float to the surface, beaming all that juicy data back to researchers. For weeks, everything was normal. The shark swam her routes, dove, surfaced, ate, rested, a textbook predator in her prime. Then one day, the tag came ashore, but the shark was gone, and the data it carried was impossible. The readings started off ordinary, then abruptly they turned bizarre. First, a sudden temperature spike, from a chilly 46 degrees Fahrenheit, typical of deep ocean waters, to a blistering 78 degrees. In the open ocean, that kind of heat at depth doesn't exist, unless the tag had been swallowed by something warm-blooded. Moments after that temperature shift, the tag plunged nearly 1,900 feet straight down into the deep ocean. Not a gentle drift, not a malfunctioning sink. Something was moving, swimming, carrying it. For days, the tag kept transmitting as it moved at depth, before eventually surfacing and drifting ashore. Whatever had swallowed the device hadn't just passed by, it had taken the shark with it, into the abyss. What could possibly consume a 9-foot great white shark? At first, the public latched on to wild theories, sea monsters, prehistoric leviathans, a modern-day megalodon. Social media ran wild. But the scientists, they stayed grounded, mostly. Theory 1, a larger great white. Unlikely, sure, but biologically possible. Shark cannibalism is more common than most people think. In fact, it starts in the womb. Sand tiger sharks, still unborn, will devour their siblings before birth. A brutal race of survival. Survival of the fiercest from day one. Among adults, it's rare, but not unheard of. Great whites have been seen attacking smaller members of their own kind. Tiger sharks, bull sharks, all known to take the occasional bite out of a peer. But swallowing a 9-foot shark whole? That would take a giant, at least 16 to 20 feet in length, maybe more. And then came the clincher, the temperature reading. Great whites are regionally endothermic. They can warm parts of their bodies, especially their stomachs, to digest prey faster. A digestive system running at 78 degrees Fahrenheit? Perfectly consistent with a massive, metabolically active white shark. That theory, unsettling as it was, fit the facts. But it wasn't the only one on the table. Enter the orca. Killer whales are apex predators in every ocean they inhabit. Brilliant, social, efficient hunters. And they've got a thing for sharks. In South Africa in 2017, 5 great whites washed ashore. Dead. Each missing only one organ. The liver. Removed with surgical precision. Clean. Targeted. Intentional. The suspects? 2 orcas, nicknamed Port and Starboard, renowned for their specialized shark hunting tactics. How do they do it? They flip the shark upside down, triggering tonic immobility, a kind of biological sleep mode. Then they make a precise incision, remove the liver, and leave the rest. Cold-blooded genius. And their impact is psychological, too. When orcas enter a region, great whites flee. Whole populations vanish from feeding grounds, gone in hours. Fear alone drives them away. Could one of these masterminds have been the culprit? The orca theory had teeth until the data bit back. First problem, the temperature. Orca body heat averages 97 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, far higher than the 78 degrees Fahrenheit recorded. If an orca had swallowed the tag, we'd know. Second, the behavior. Orcas don't eat entire sharks. They extract what they need, the liver, and ditch the rest. They're surgical, not gluttonous. But this was a full-body feast. Something had devoured the shark completely, and dove nearly 2,000 feet while doing it. And orcas? They're surface hunters. They can dive deep, but they rarely do, and not during attacks. Final nail in the theory's coffin? The other tagged sharks. When orcas strike, the sea tells you. Other sharks bolt. The ecosystem panics. But after this attack? Nothing. No exodus, no panic, no sign. This wasn't a gang of orcas making a statement. This was something else, something silent. With orcas ruled out, scientists were forced to accept a darker possibility. The attacker wasn't an outsider. It was one of their own, a super predator, a giant great white, perhaps 20 feet long and weighing over 4,000 pounds, not just a cannibal, a specialist, an ambush killer. There was no sign of a struggle, no frantic dives or zigzags from the tagged shark before it vanished. It hadn't seen the attack coming, which meant the predator didn't chase it. It waited, then struck with such speed and force. The smaller shark never had a chance. Predation, camouflage, precision, not instinct, strategy. The ocean is still more mystery than map. Over 80% of it remains unexplored, and in that darkness, giants roam. Some scientists believe these hyper-large sharks spend most of their time at extreme depths, only rising when needed, to hunt, to dominate, to eliminate competition. Over the years, other tag sharks have disappeared under similarly strange circumstances: temperature spikes, sudden descents, no bodies, just data and silence. Occasionally, the ocean returns a carcass, a great white with a massive crescent bite taken out of its side, a wound too big to match any known predator. But most of the time, the evidence stays buried in the deep. This one incident, this one swallowed tag, shattered a myth that great whites are the top. They're not. There's a hidden hierarchy down there, a pyramid we've only just glimpsed the bottom of. We used to believe that once a great white matured, nothing could touch it, that it ruled unchallenged, but now we know there's always something bigger, something stronger, something that doesn't fear what we fear. And sometimes it looks just like them. Since 2003, researchers have tracked more anomalies, more vanishing tags, more unexplained drops and heat spikes. Are these isolated incidents, or are we seeing the edges of something much larger? Some marine biologists have begun theorizing that these megasharks may be territorial, that they enforce their domain with brutal efficiency by devouring rivals. A silent war waged in pitch-black water with no witnesses. We don't know how many of these giants exist. We don't know how often they strike. All we have is the evidence they leave behind, if they leave any at all. In the end, the vanishing of a single shark exposed an ocean truth far more terrifying than fiction. There are creatures out there, real ones, that defy our assumptions. Predators that don't just survive, they dominate. And they do it so quietly, so perfectly, that we didn't even know they were there. We set out to study predators, and we found one we never expected. Because in the ocean, there's always something bigger, even if it looks just like the thing we fear the most.